What's up guys, and welcome back to a brand new video here today on my channel. And today we're going to be taking a look at the version 3.5 patch notes that have just dropped April 11th 2018. So when we first start looking through it, it says we are excited to introduce a brand new feature for Battle Royale replay. With this suite of cinematic settings, you now can capture the most memorable moments, highlights, and cinematics. We can't wait to see what you create, so you have the opportunity to win a fundamental prize with this replay very soon. So I think they're going to have like a leaderboard system where the top 3 players or something will win a prize for the best creative piece, I'm thinking. As we scroll down, the Portafort Battle Royale. A portable fort. It's a portafort. Fortify yourself in seconds, all with a flick of a wrist. So they implemented a portafort, which is a pickup where if you're in trouble, if you're getting shot and all that, all you have to do is throw it at the ground and there will be a fort built for you already. So you'll get the automatic high ground, most likely. So as we scroll down again, 50v50 v2, 2 teams will clash in the update 50v50 limited time mode. Be the first to the front line. So they added the 50v50 version 2 to Battle Royale. Moving down to Fortnite Save the World, Cyberpunk Heroes, 4 new heroes with some gnarly fashion sense. So they added 4 new skins to Fortnite Save the World. Now for the neon weapons for the Save the World, illuminate the battlefield and send those husks flying high with the energizing punch. So they added a lot of weapons to Save the World. Now for going down to the general for the whole game itself, wood, stone, and metal resources will now always be the first item in your inventory list instead of traps. Purchase V-Bucks are now shared between Xbox One, PC, and mobile. So you don't have to buy V-Bucks for certain things if you only have a certain thing. So if you link your account to 2 or more of these accessories, you have a link V-Buck account. Login queue improvements. During wait periods, login will now remember your place in line if you quit out the game and return. So if you accidentally quit out the game, you don't have to restart the queue and be further down the list. You'll just be where you are at when you quit the game. Mobile devices will now enter the login queue more than once per login attempt. 2-factor accumulation challenge will not put you back into the login queue. Bug fixes. Adjusted the login screen layout to better support varying screen size and save zones. Fixed a rare crash that occurred during logout. They fixed a PS4 player leaving their party after a match where they are playing with players and other platforms. So if you're playing on other platforms with PS4 players, the PS4 players will now stay in your party and not have a forced out disconnection after each and for every game. They fixed the Survivor and Hero Squad being locked after switching to Save the World from Battle Royale. On PC, fixed PS4 controllers showing Xbox buttons. If they had a problem with that, they fixed that. Even after the controller type was changed in settings. Fixed a rare case in which characters' parts would stretch unnaturally. Example, ears to the Rabbit Raider outfit. So they fixed all the cases with that. Moving down, fixed an inability to rotate elements in the Battle Royale locker after buying a llama in the Save the World. They fixed that. Now moving down to the replay system for Battle Royale. Battle Royale replay system. Save your matches and watch them from any angle. Speed up or slow down the action. Help tell your story better with players, outlines, and nameplates. Several camera modes to choose from. There's a third person one that follows and orbits around the selected player. 3 different follow modes are off, auto, and lazy. There's a drone follow, which is a drone style camera that always keeps the selected player in frame. There's a drone attach, which is drone style camera that is loosely attached to the selected player. There is drone free, which is drone style camera that is free to fly around the island. There's a gameplay mode, which is the camera shows what the selected player saw during the gameplay. There is adjusted cinematic camera settings like exposure, focal length, and focus distance. Currently available on PC and console only, so you will not get this on your mobile device if you're playing on it. Weapons and items. A Port-a-Fort added. Epic rarity. It's an epic and rarity formation. Dropped in stacks of 1, can stack up to 5 in inventory. When a Port-a-Fort is thrown, a pre-made fort is constructed instantly at the impact point. A Port-a-Fort is made out of metal and it is 3 stories tall. The bottom floor is a 1x1 with a door for entry. Tires inside allow for easy access to the roof. Decreased guided missile maximum turn rate to 75%. Reduce guided missile movement speed by 15%. They added a short equipped time to many weapons, particularly those with a slower rate of fire. This will reduce the effectiveness of quickly switching between weapons for high bursting damage. They removed the reloading animation on the pump shotgun. Weapons affected are rocket launchers, hand cannon, revolver, tactical shotgun, pump shotgun, heavy shotgun, bolt action sniper, hunting rifle, and crossbow. Adjusted items, ability, and vending machines. Reduced chances of the chug jug by 50%. They increased the chances of medium ammo weapons and rarity vending machines by 100%. Reduced the chance of explosive ammo weapons and rarity vending machines by 50%. They reduced chances of explosive ammo weapons and epic vending machines by 25%. They increased the chance of heavy ammo weapons and epic vending machines by 25%. They reduced chances of explosive ammo weapons and legendary vending machines by 25%. And they increased chances of heavy ammo weapons and legendary vending machines by 25%. Reduced drop rates of remote explosives and floor loot by roughly 33%. Updated medium ammo inventory icon to make it more easily identifiable. For bug fixes. Fix weapons floating in the air under certain network conditions after quickly switching between them. So they fixed the problem where everyone was getting, where if you quickly switch your weapons back and forth, for some reason if you're in a gunfight and it would float and it would not be in your hands anymore, they fixed that problem per se. So if you had that problem, make sure to check that out in case there's some other glitches in the game for that. The guided missile weapon fixes. Eliminating a down player with a guided missile is no longer reports as a self-elimination. Picking up an item at the same time as firing a guided missile will no longer cause the pick-up item to disappear. Firing a guided missile prior to the victory screen displaying will no longer prevent the player from returning to the lobby. Players will now correctly spectate the player that eliminated them instead of spectating their own active missile. While spectating a player that fires a missile, you will now follow the missile instead of the player. Fix an issue that caused the player to spectate a floating guided missile weapon on the starting island if they were eliminated by the missile during the match. They fixed an issue preventing the player from firing a guided missile where riding a guided missile. They fixed an issue causing the player's nameplate to display over the guided missile while controlling it. They fixed an issue where the rare scopes assault rifle was incorrectly given an epic version in vending machine. They fixed an issue causing the loot llama to be empty in limited time modes. They fixed all that. Now for the gameplay. Limited time mode 50v50 version 2. 2 teams of 50 fight to the finish. Due to this being a large squad mode, profile stats will not be tracked. Daily and weekly challenges will still work, with the expansion of the squad-based challenges, place top 6 in squads, etc. So that's an example. Storm and map. Each team has a bus approaching the island from opposite directions on the map. The friendly bus has a blue outline, enemy has red. Final storm circle visible on minimap at start. So the final circle will be placed on the beginning of the map, so you'll know where the end circle is. Players have 10 minutes to loot the map as the storm closes into the circle, then 5 minutes to fight, and another 5 minutes as the storm shrinks to the end. Supply drops come in batches of 3 to 6, fall every 2 minutes, and only land in the final storm circle. So you can only find the supply drops in the final circle. Added dotted line to map, which indicates the battle lines between the 2 teams crossing the line, will make running into enemies more likely. For loot, farming resources increase 75% over default. Increase floor loot spawns likelihood by 15%. Floor loot spawns double ammo. Ammo boxes spawn triple ammo. Chest spawns double ammo and consumables. Supply drops spawn double ammo and an extra consumable, resources, drops, and traps. Bug fixes, plus mode improvements. Fix a bug that created uneven teams where one side could have more than 50 players. They down players lose health more quickly than normal, 10 health per tick. Wow, they drastically changed that. 10 health per click. Oh my gosh. So you're going to have to revive your teammate as quick as possible. For new Builder Pro controller configuration, this configuration is similar to Combat Pro but optimized for fast placement for building pieces. Wall, floor, stairs, and roof have designated buttons on controller. The first button presses will switch the map building piece, then every piece press after will place that piece. To switch between material and traps, press the left D-pad button. For new squad com wheel, this allows you to communicate quicker without voice. The following callouts are currently available: enemy spotted, need meds, need shield, need material, need weapon, context sensitive, and need ammo, context sensitive. Default to V key, right D-pad on controller, or the emote menu on mobile. The Loot Llama can now be opened through destruction as well as interaction. Added a blue tint to friendly traps to help distinguish them from enemy traps. For bug fixes, fixed an issue preventing players from editing their own structures. Supply drop fixes, fixed an issue preventing players from opening supply drops in rare cases. Fixed an issue causing supply drops to jitter as they fall if the player destroys the object that is landed on. Fixed an issue causing the supply drop to loot to spawn in the air after the drop has been shot down. They fixed an issue causing the players to be pushed under the map if they stood under the falling supply drop. They fixed an issue causing players to launch out of the map after landing on the supply drop. They fixed an issue where a building would be blocked for 3 seconds at a time under poor network connection. They fixed an issue causing controllers to vibrate during the skydive phase when vending machines loaded into the world. They fixed an issue that would hide structure health bars when a player aimed their weapon. They fixed a toggle aim down sight not returning to its previous state after reloading. They fixed an issue where poor network conditions could prevent building from streaming in. They fixed an issue where you could not select the same banner icon and color combination in Battle Royale that you have in Save the World. Now for the audio for the Battle Royale. They added a unique equipped/reload sound for the following weapons. All others remain the same: epic legendary assault rifle, heavy shotgun, pump shotgun, bolt action sniper, and hunting rifle. They added more variation of the tactical SMG fire sound. They've added more variation to the medium range epic/legendary assault rifle fire sound. For the bug fixes, they removed the sound insert magazine sound during the grenade launcher reload animation. Now for the UI for Battle Royale. Bug fixes. Fix the controller button label to toggle map not shown after being eliminated. Fix a bug in the locker that made skydive previews appear without the correct animation. They fixed the text on the minimap that was too small. They fixed the map marker not retaining its location when zooming in and out. They fixed an issue with a map marker not pinning at your cursor when placing them while zoomed in. They fixed the controller analog stick can now be used to scroll the map while zoomed in. They fixed an issue causing the eliminated player count displaying as 0 when spectating a guided missile. Now for the art and animation, they tweaked the object pop and animations so objects ease in rather than pop in. For the bug fixes, fixed an inconsistent battle bus position change that could occur every few seconds. They fixed the rock paper scissors emote so that it replicates properly in the lobby. They fixed a rainbow smash and candy axe harvesting tool not always activating. They fixed the guided missile fire animation so that it plays properly while spectating the player that is firing the weapon, and reduced the size of mushrooms that were too large for the art and animation. Now going down for the performance, major optimization and improvements made the console loading load times, and CPU performance. We've made some data layout optimizations in order to improve the load times and performance. Load times reduced by 25 to 35 seconds as a result of these changes on Xbox One and around 10 seconds on PS4. On both platforms, we expect to see fewer issues with geometry and cosmetics falling to load in times. The FPS drops during skydiving. The Xbox One download will be larger than normal in this release as the result of these optimizations. We are working to minimize the impact of this type of optimization in future releases. They reduced download and patch size for players who just have access to Battle Royale, PC only. They fixed various issues causing the game to freeze up/hitch while loading especially on console. These assets are not preloaded before the game starts. Optimize servers to reduce network lag when firing weapons and taking damage. Now for the mobile, audio indicator no longer shows silent weapons, crouched footsteps, or alley pickaxe. For bug fixes, fix an issue that caused input to continue when no longer touching the screen. Fix an issue where the message about jailbroken devices when being unsupported wasn't being shown. Attempting to play using a jailbroken device will result in being kicked. Fixed various interaction actions, including icon not showing properly on lower end of devices, supply drops not being able to be open, stores not consistently opening and closing, the map not being able to zoom and pan, an instance where accidental button presses would occur. They fixed an issue causing revolver and grenade launcher ammo to float outside the gun. Now that was everything for the Battle Royale. Now we're going to be taking a look at the Save the World patch notes. Now for the gameplay, enabled environmental damage for ranged weapons, percentage of damage done to the environment varieties by weapon. Environmental damage scaling for ranged weapons should remain consistent relative to the health of the environment, taking into account the rarity and alterations on the weapon. Note environmental damage increases with tier and rarity only and is not multiple through offenses. The range weapons cannot damage structures you and your team have built. The reworked Outlander fragments abilities other than the loot llama no longer require equipped fragments, ammo, and activate. Fragments abilities now have a cooldown and energy cost as other abilities do. Fragments abilities are now improved when the Outlander expends fragments into fragment ammo in their activation. Fragment ammo capacity has been dramatically increased. The rework for melee weapons and environment. Melee weapons, aside from pickaxes, can no longer damage structures that you and your team have built and have had their environmental damage increased. Environmental damage scaling for on-level melee weapons should now feel more consistent relative to the health of the environment. No environmental damage increases with tier and rarity only, and is not multiple through offenses. Axes do increase damage against wood. Hardware does increase damage against stone. Swords, clubs, scythes, and spears do not favor any material type. The rework of Anomaly. Anomaly rewards changed from bluegill to mission rewards. Anomaly shards will take full damage from the pickaxe, reduce damage from other melee weapons, and can no longer be damaged by projectiles, throwing stars, rockets, etc. Crafting queue size increased from 10 to 20. This means 1 in production and up to 19 pending. Cozy Campfire no longer grants any utility score for healing and instead grants more for placing the trap. Falling damage has been adjusted so that damage occurs at higher heights. Players now first take damage after falling 1,300 plus units instead of falling at 850 units. Example, you can now walk off a 3-story building, but you can't jump off it. Initial falling damage increased from 5% max HP to 10% max HP. Next damage threshold is now 20% max HP at 3 tiles. Max damage threshold is now 50% max HP at 3.75 tiles. And max damage threshold is now knocked at 4.5 tiles. Farther than 4.5 tiles will also result in knockdown. Enemy fall damage values have been adjusted to be in line with these changes. The vehicles that survive stand on top of will no longer take damage from ranged or melee weapons. Only the pickaxe can damage them. Increase wood, stone, and metal stack size and carry limits. The default building resource capacity has been increased from 999 to 2,000. Building resources capacity nodes have replaced the previously existing weapon skill nodes in the skill tree. These new nodes allow players to upgrade their resource carrying ability to 1,000 apiece to a maximum of 5,000 per type. A weapon skill has been efficiently uncapped since version 3.3, which allows us the opportunity to remove and repurpose these nodes in the skill tree. So do not worry, your ability to use weapons of all levels remains unchanged. Existing items will not automatically restack. You can condescend stacks by dropping and picking up items and transferring between backpack and storage. Economy tuning, increased hero and thematic quest XP for Stonewood up to mid Plankerton. Players who have already completed these quests will be awarded the difference. challenge quests have been extended to 20 stages. The Leave No One Behind challenge quest now awards survival XP scaled based on stage. Players who have already completed stage 1 through 10 on the quest line will be awarded the survivor XP. For bug fixes, fixed a long delay that occurred when joining a party when first loading into the PS4. Fixed an issue that could cause a blue glow pylons to spawn on top of another. The buff from blue glow pylons is no longer lost after 10 minutes. Fixed an issue that would cause players to pick up items much lower than normal. Now we're moving down to mission and systems. New questline Into the Storm opening act. Accompany Lars and Ray on their journey into Lars pass into the brand new questline Into the Storm. Brand new survivor and the storm map Thunder Route 99. For more details about Thunder Route 99, hit here. There's a link for that. Into the Storm Llamas is available in the Loot tab. The cost for that is 1,000 storm tickets. Event Llama guarantees at least one epic or higher neon weapon or cyberpunk hero. Every 1,000 firecrackers tickets will be converted into a spring llama. Quest rewards: choose a legendary ranged neon weapon like pistol, shotgun, or assault rifle. Survive the Storm returns. Improve rewards: added spring add-on, gold, scaled by difficulty and number of days completed. Improve the amount of heroes somatic survivor XP earned. Increase more with difficulty and number of days completed. Increase the rarity of items, survivors, somatics, transform keys, etc. that dropped from survival mode, especially at higher difficulties. Reduce the number of low rarity items that dropped. Missions alerts award between 300 to 1,500 tickets. Scale based on survival length and difficulty. Quote, 3-day survivals per 24 hours. Quote, 1 7-day survival per 24 hours. Added a side quest that with new banner rewards. Power 15 event themed banner is 1,000 storm tickets. Power 40 event themed banner is 1,000 tickets, and Power 70 event themed banner is 1,000 tickets. Change the survival mode. Vote to skip the day to majority vote from anonymous to keep consistent with all other voting. Mutant storms. Mutant storms are more active during this event and award between 100 to 240 storm tickets. Scaled based on difficulty, quote, 10 per 24 hours. Repeatable quests to complete 2 mutant storm missions. Alert that awards 100 spring it on gold, an opt-in difficulty boost, and group missions do not award tickets during these events. Mini boss missions alerts can no longer be selected if you have not unlocked the mission the alert is attached to. This will prevent low-level players from attempting missions alerts that are too difficult for them unless they are invited into a group by a higher level friend. Mimic reward updates. Mimics will always award the equivalent to at least level 3 blue treasure chest. Some mimics will instead award the equivalent to a level 4 purple treasure chest. Moving down, evacuate the shelter adjustments. In non-group missions, the number of enemies needed to be killed after reaching the shelter has been reduced to 10 per player in zone instead of 35. The final encounter in non-group missions has been reduced to 6 minutes from 8. They repaired the shelter adjustments. See, bot will no longer be attacked on arrival. C-Bot will now arrive with a 5-minute counter. After 5 minutes, it will leave to recharge and then return later to a different location on the map. The Husk attack now begins when a player deploys the C-Bot. C-Bot is safe before then. Players have 5 minutes to start the scan and then defend the C-Bot. Husk attack difficulty has been reduced for first 2 attacks. The shelter will now automatically start designated scan when player reaches the shelter instead of having to interact with it. They decrease the difficulty of the missions. An initial combat encounter allow us to double down on the mission core, scrambling the resource, a siege shelter, and creating a time pressure. With the automatic designated scan, the length of time until the first raid occurs has been increased to 8 minutes and 30 seconds. It's after diagnostics are completed. Allow more time to prepare used to be 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Progress for the quest air quotes is now given when the first 25 enemies have been successfully eliminated after activating the storm quest or chest, rather than having to eliminate all waves of enemies before the timer is up. They bug fixes for it. Fixed an issue where some players were locked out of their storm shield. Visual level of survival missions. A reward chest increase so it reaches max level quest or chest appearance at 7 days. Now moving down to the heroes. Cyberpunk heroes added, available in the new Into the Storm event. Llama, Bullet Storm, Johnsy, new soldier subclass. Bullet Storm uses high magazine weapons to build up attacks speed and mow down enemies. New perks: start up firing with a ranged weapon, increase the rate of fire by 1.2% per shot for up to 20 shots. Resets on reload or weapon switch. Star faster increases startup rate of fire bonus to 2.4 per shot. The Harvester Sarah. Harvester close range scythe ninja who uses smoke bombs and shadow stance to survive on the battlefield. New perks: scythe to meet you. Scythe attacks apply at 30% snare for 1 second. Late arrival scythes damage 48. Scythes deal 48% increased damage to slow or snare targets. I'm moving down to Heavy Base Kyle. Heavy Base constructor focus on taking down enemies within base to charge up a great energy nova. New perks. Feel the base. The base generates energy when enemies die within the area affected by base. After 30 kills, base emits and explodes that knocks husks back and deals damage in a 3-tile radius. Turn up the base, increase the radius of feel the base by 2 tiles and damage by 80%. New tackle perk. Feel the base. Base generates energy when enemies die within the area affected by base. After 30 kills, base emits an explosion that knocks husk back and deal damage in a 3-tile radius. TEDD, Shot Jess. Shot deploys TEDDY to provide cover fire while sniping foes from a distance. New perks. Quick scope increases sniper rifle rate of fire by 35%. Precision handling. Hitting a shot increases the speed of your next reload by 7%, max 35%. Resets after reloading. Eye on the prize, getting 15 headshots kills, granted 1 charge fragment. New support perks. Sure Shot increases sniper rifle critical hit damage by 35, 53 to 70%. Now moving down to the Outlander. Shock Tower no longer requires a fragment to operate. Cooldown has been set to 60 seconds. Stamina cost has been set to 50. Using the fragment will reduce the cooldown by 30% and reduce the stamina cost to 0. Damage has not been adjusted. TEDDY no longer requires a fragment to operate. Cooldown has been set to 60 seconds. Stamina cost has been set to 50. Using a fragment will reduce the cooldown by 30% to reduce the stamina cost to 0. Damage has been unadjusted. Moving down to Impossibility Matrix. Now increase the cooldown reduction for Shock Tower and TEDDY by 50% when using a fragment. Fragment ammo cap has been increased to 25 plus llama fragment. Llama fragment. Acquired a llama fragment now and immediately resets the cooldown of all your fragments abilities. Constructor. Recycling. Increase the maximum storage capacity of base recycling from 100 to 450. Hyper-threading. Increased the maximum storage capacity of base hyper-threading from 300 to 900. Now moving down to bug fixes. Fix an issue where the plasma pulse tooltip wouldn't reflect the current IFF coding functionality. Fix an issue where Fragment, Flurry, Jess, and Shamrock Reclaimers support bonus energizing not scaling correctly across the multiple star levels. Fix an issue where Dragon Slash caused ninjas to lose collision against heroes and enemies. Fix an issue where Decoy wasn't taking damage from Husk. Fix an issue that could cause Mantis Leap to stack velocity infinitely. Now moving down to weapons and items. Neon weapons set added available in the new Into the Storm event llama. Range weapons, Agron assault rifle, helium shotgun, krypton pistol, melee weapons, Aggron Axe, Krypton Sword, Neon Scythe, Impulse Grenades, double the knockback distance against enemies, no longer affects allies, Easter Egg Launcher, eggs no longer detonate when a player is downed but are cleared when a player respawns or disconnects. Bug fixes. Fixed an issue where Crystal Scavenger melee weapons had the same durability as Ore Scavenger melee weapons. Fixed an issue where the Vacuum Tube Spear and axe knocked enemies back instead of stunning them in place. Dragon's Might Shotgun projectiles no longer bounce off of deep water. Fix an issue where Dragon's Might Shotgun projectiles were not exploding on contact with enemies. Bullet tracers shot from other players' single-shot weapons no longer travel through walls. Fix an issue where the boost trapped would give more resources than intended from recycling. Now moving down to the UI. Added an option to show a collection box indicator on items in the armory menus. They added an option to toggle whether or not favorite items are grouped together and an armory menus added. Tooltip text for the cinematic volume settings in the audio settings tab. The items in the armory that don't have stats no longer displays a stat panel, replacing references of the world vault with armory and skill tree nodes. Now moving down to the bug fixes. Fix an issue where players using the Combat Pro control scheme would see unable to edit building when pressing the button to get on their hoverboard. Fix an issue where the Place Trap Controller button icon was missing when using the Combat Pro control scheme. Updated reward summary cards to no longer be selectable once they move off screen. Fixed an issue where damage returns fault values for traps that deal damage were not indicated what type of elemental damage was dealt. Updated electrical wall and ceiling trap descriptions to mention their elemental damage traits. Fixed a spelling error in the Myth Wukong description. Fixed an issue that prevented players from selecting options like mute and add friend in chat. Fixed an issue where the camera would jump when zooming in and out in and on the skill tree tier. Fix an import friends button not being selectable with a controller. Fix a 4-player level difficulty when cut off into the zone objectives screen. Fix the research purchase button not cost icon being offset when using a controller. Fix a blue glow having the equipped button activate in the in-zone inventory. Fix a crash that occurred when typing a comma while naming your home base. Updated player revive screen text. And now for the last part, the audio for the Save the World is metal toilets now play a metal sound when destroyed. And unsearched shopping carts now have impact sounds. Hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, please leave a like, and if you're new, subscribe for more daily content like this on my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.